Okay, so to create a quiz, we have to do three main things. The first is you have to create a question bank. Number two, you have to create a quiz where you'll specify the quiz name and you'll do some configuration about the quiz, such as the password for the quiz timings, and other things. And the third thing you have to do is add the questions to the quiz from the question bank. So we will start with the first step, how to create a question bank. For creating the question bank, go to More and go to Question Bank. So in this page, the first thing you should do is you can create categories for the questions. For example, I can have categories like quiz 1, quiz 2, midterm, final exam, or even you can have subcategories also. So let me go and first create the category for quiz 1. So I go to the categories option, and right now here the default category is the name of the course, you can see, right? But inside I want to create category quiz 1, in which I will keep all the questions for the quiz 1. So for adding a category, you go and choose here add category, and then you can give the name of the category here. Let me give it quiz 1. And if you want to add some information about this quiz, you can add that. Otherwise you can just leave everything default and click add category. So you can see now in the categories, question categories, I have this category quiz 1. If you want to create some more category, you can again click add category and you can add some more categories. Let me add one more category. So I'll make this category quiz 2, in which I can keep the questions for the quiz 2 and add category. So you can see here, when you see these links for these categories, it shows like in a particular category how many questions are there. If you want to delete, you can delete the category from here. But if you already have some quiz where the questions from this category are used, then you may not be able to delete this category. And you can edit your category here. If you want to make some changes in the category name or description, you can click here and do it. Okay, so once you have a category, then we can go and choose the option here, questions, for adding the questions to the categories. So first I will choose the category in which I want to add the question. So let's say I am planning for the quiz 1. So I'll choose the quiz 1. And now make sure that you have all these check boxes enabled. And to add a question, we will go to this option, create a new question. We have different types of questions, but I will cover the commonly used questions that we use in the quiz. If you have some special type of questions if you plan to use, then let me know, or we can make a video for that also. So let me start with the first type of question, which is the most common question type, multiple choice or MCQs. So you choose here that I want to create a multiple choice question. So this category allows the selection of a single or multiple responses from a predefined list. So you click here, add. So you can see here, I'm about to add the question. So category is quiz 1. But even now, if you want to change the category, here also you can change the category here. So I'll go with the quiz 1 category, and I can put some question name. You can just put dot here right now for the time being, not so important right now. And then you can put a question here. For example, let me put some simple question. What is the capital of Oman? And you have options here to format your questions. If you want to make it bold, if you want to make it italicized, if you want to change the text color, if you want to change the background color, so you can do that if you want, but generally we don't need in our normal quizzes. And you have many other options which we can explore sometimes later, like if you want to add some picture in your question, if you want to give some hyperlink, if you want to upload some video, if you want to add your audio in the question. So now for the time being, we'll just go with the simple question here, and then the question status. So you can specify that whether this question is ready or not. If you There are two options, ready or draft. So draft means that this question cannot be used still in it's not a finalized question, right? So we'll go with the ready option, and this one specifies what is the default mark for the question. So generally for quiz we keep 1 mark. If you want to keep something 2 or 5 or something, that depends on you. So I'll go with the default mark for this question as 1, and here I can specify the general feedback, that once the general feedback is shown to the student after they have completed the question. Unlike specific feedback, which depends on question type and what response the student gave, the same general feedback text is shown to all students. So maybe after the student gives the answer, maybe you want to give some explanation for that question, you can specify general feedback here. So right now we will leave it empty only. And here we can specify that once you have multiple choice question, whether it has only one correct answer or it has multiple correct answers. Okay, like multiple correct answers, generally it will show as the check boxes where you can choose more than one option. Okay, one answer only, it will show the radio button where you can choose only one answer. So I'll go with one answer only, and then this option will make sure that the options that you get, they will be shuffled, so different students will have a different order of options in the question. So all the students will not have same sequence of options. And here you can specify the number of choices, what you want to display the options, A, B, C, capital A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 or something, or no numbering. So I'll go with the default A, B, C. So the options will be displayed as option A, option B, option C, a kind of numbered list, right? And show standard instructions. So before the quiz there is some standard instructions. If you want that those standard instructions, you can choose here yes. And here you will, this is the question I wrote here, what is the capital of Oman, and now I will choose provide the various options for this question. So for example, the first choice that the user will see, the first choice which I'm giving is, let's say, Muscat. And again you have all the formatting features, just like the question you have formatting features here. So we will not give any formatting right now. And what grade to give if the student gives the correct answer. Okay, so if the user chooses this option Muscat, then how many marks we have to give. So give it 100%, because this is multiple choice question where you have only one correct answer. So if the person gives the correct answer, we will give it 100%, right? But if we have answers with options with multiple correct answers, maybe two options are correct, then we can give 50% to each correct option for that question. So for our normal quizzes we use multiple choice with only one option, so I will choose 100% marks. 100% means if the question is for 1 mark, the student will get 1 mark. Now I can give the other options which are not correct. So if a person chooses Ibi grade, it will not, he or she will not get any marks for that. So these are the incorrect options I am giving. So you can leave other options default, and then you can click save changes. So you have added the first question in the quiz bank, in the question bank. So you can see here, this symbol means it is a multiple choice question, right? And here, if you want to edit the question, if you want to duplicate the question, if you want to preview the question, you have the option here. If you want to delete the question, and status, that means this question is ready, it can be added to the any quiz. Okay, so you can leave other things like this. And if you want to preview the question, how the student will see the question, you can just click here, edit, and you can see here preview. So this is how student will see the question. What is the capital of Oman? And you can choose here whatever option, and then you can submit and finish. So your answer is correct. So my question is correct. There's no mistake in the question. I can go ahead with that. So it's a good idea to, whenever you add questions to the quiz bank, always preview and make sure that question is correct and uh, you have chosen the correct option for that question. So I'll close the preview. So again, let me add a new question, and this time let me add true false type question. So I'll click here. So I'll click add. So again, you can see the category is quiz 1, and you can change the category anytime, no issues. Even you can move the questions from one category to another category. So by mistake, if you add some question in the wrong category, you always have the option to move that question to different category. So question name, I just put dot here, and let me put some new question here. Uh, let's say 2 plus 2 multiplied 2 equal to 8. Okay, so this is true and false question. So once you get this statement, you have to tell whether this statement is true or false. So you can go here, and all other options I already discussed with you, and here. So what is the answer for this true and false? Is it true or false? Okay, so we know that 2 plus 2 multiplied 2 is not 8, it is 6. So this answer is false. So from here, correct answer, we choose false or true. Okay, so by default, it chooses the answer false. So make sure that if your answer is true, you choose true from here. Okay, for this, the answer is false, so I will choose false. Okay, and here you can specify that no, once the quiz is over, if the user gives the response true, if you want to give some feedback to the student, you can specify here. If the student chooses false, and then if you want to give some different feedback, you can put here. So I'll leave those things by default. I'm not giving any specific feedback for the time being. So I'll click save changes. So you can see here, now I have two questions, 1 and 2. So again, you have the option to preview this question, edit, preview, and you have a question here, and even you can ask Moodle to fill the correct answer for this to check. So if I choose option fill in correct response, it will automatically choose the correct answer, false. So my question is correct, right? So then you can just close the preview. So I have added two questions. So let me add another type of question. So I'll again go to create new question, and now I will choose the question matching, where you have the questions like match the options. For example, I can give you a list of countries and I can give you a list of their capitals. So those options may be mismatched. So you have to match the country with the correct capital, right? So let me choose this and click add. So question name, I just put in here dot, and here let me put the question text here. So let's say the question text is match the countries with their capitals. Okay, so this default status, default mark I already discussed with you. So I'll come here. So I'll give the names of the countries and their corresponding capitals. Okay, this question will shuffle those things and show it to me. I have to set the correct capital for every country. So This is the choices I will show to the user. So you must provide at least 2 questions with 3 answers. You can provide extra wrong answers by giving an answer with blank question. Entries where both the question and the answers are blank will be ignored. Okay. So if I'm making giving names of 2 countries, just to add some more confusion, I will give 3 capitals. Okay. Otherwise, you can give 2 countries and 2 capitals also, no problem. So let me put the first question. Let's say Iraq. What is the capital for this? So I will give the correct options here, the country name and the correct capital. The question will shuffle those countries and capitals options. So Baghdad, let's say Pakistan, Islamabad, India, New Delhi. So I have 3 questions. Let me add few more. So let me make Oman, the capital is Muscat. And let me just add one more capital without writing the name of the country, just to have like n countries and n plus 1 capitals. Dubai. Okay, so you save changes. So let's preview this question. So match the countries with capitals, right? This, you can see this block, it refers to this question. So from the edit, I will go and see the preview. So you can see here, match the countries with the capital. So on the left side, on the first column, I have names of the countries, and on the right side, for every country, opposite to every country, there is a list of capitals from which I have to choose. So I'm matching the country with the correct capital. So for example, for Oman, I choose Muscat. For Iraq, I choose Baghdad. For Pakistan, I choose Islamabad. For India, I choose New Delhi, right? So Dubai is not the capital of any of these countries, right? Just extra option I added here. So I choose here New Delhi. Okay. So I've chosen this, right? And if I submit and finish, so your answer is correct. Okay. Now I'll close the preview. So now for this question, because by default there's a 1 mark for every question. So here the person is choosing actually the 4 answers, right? So maybe I want to keep 4 marks by default, 4 marks for this question. So what I can do is I want to edit this question, right? So from this match the countries with the capital, this question, you'll go to the edit and choose the option edit question, because I want to change the default marks for this question. So click here and you see for the questions by default the mark is 1, right? So I want to keep 4 marks here because the student is giving 4 answers, right? So I will save these changes. Okay, so now let me add one more question type. So create new question and let me choose here short answer. So this short answer is not like a short descriptive answer. This short answer is in some countries we call it fill ups or fill in the blanks, right? But this Moodle is from Australia. Probably in Australia they call it as a short answer. So we call it fill ups or fill in the blanks. So allows a response of one or few words that is graded by comparing against various model answers, which may contain even wildcards. Okay, so let me go and add the question here. So question name, I will just put dot for the time being. So question text. So what does OS stand for? I have a question here, right? And default mark is 1, and I can specify whether the case is important or not, you know. So like for example, maybe if you're doing some programming question and you want that the case should be important. If the answer is, let's say, A in uppercase, then it will be considered as correct answer only if A is in uppercase. If we choose yes, case must match, right? But if we choose no, case is not important, then the answer in small a and capital A, they will be both treated as the same answer. So I just choose here no, case is unimportant, and here the uh, I will give list of answers which a person can give, right? For example, somebody may write operating system, somebody may write operating systems, but if we see, both are correct, right? So we can give the list of probable answers. So I can write here operating system or operating systems. So both are correct, right? So if the student writes operating system or operating system, the answer should be treated as correct answer, right? So if the student chooses operating system, how many marks? 100%. If the question is for 1 mark, he will get 1 mark. If the question is for 2 marks, the student will get 2 marks. And even if the student chooses operating systems, we give 100% marks. So generally we avoid this short answer, because the students, when they write, they will write, somebody will write make some spelling mistake, okay, and small spelling mistake. So in that case, we have to write a list of all the possible options which you will consider as correct answer, right? So generally, if possible, we avoid this question. But if it is your specific requirement for your quiz, you can go ahead with that. And these questions, when you grade the quiz, okay, you can see the answer. If you see that there is a small spelling mistake, okay, if the answer of the user is not matching with the options which you have given because of small spelling mistake, the teacher always has the option to override the marks which the Moodle gives. So I'll just go with save changes. So I have covered the common types of questions which normally we use in the quiz. If you have some specific requirement, you can tell us, and we can try to make a video for that. So this was all about creating the quiz. About creating the question bank. So in the next video, we will learn how to create the quiz, how to configure the quiz, and in the third video, we will learn how to add the questions to the quiz. So thanks for the time being. See you in the next video.